Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going over my Prizepicks Draftkings and Fanduel picks for Sunday, July 10th. Happy Sunday to everybody watching. Today, I'll be having my DFS plays as well as my Prizepicks plays. Yesterday, for the Prizepicks plays on the video, went 3-1-1. The one loss was Mackenzie, missed by 1. He lost by the hook. We needed 5. He got 4. Martin Perez got 18 outs, so that was a push. And then we hit the over strikeouts on Woodruff, hit the Nerfy in the San Diego game, and we hit the also over strikeouts on Alek Manoah. So let's go ahead and get into today's picks. You can hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Other links down below in the description. So today we only have a 7-game slate on DraftKings, so it's a pretty middle of the pack slate, not too overwhelming. First game up is going to be one where we're going to be looking at a lot of the bats from, especially from the Braves side. We got Paulo Espino against Ian Anderson. Anderson does have a 5+ ERA this year, but he's still been okay. He just gotten blown up in some spots, which has really hurt his ERA. But I do love the Braves. They're going to be one of the best teams to stack today, especially Acuna, Austin Riley. Don't mind Swanson as price tag. You got a pretty affordable tag for Olsen. So the top 4, throwing Eddie Rosario as a value. Those are the main pieces I'm looking at. Second game, we got a lefty in Nick Lodolo against Shane Baz. Rays look okay. I mean, look at guys like Paredes and Harold Ramirez, Arozarena. They're the guys I'm looking at. Not looking at too many of the lefties here against a lefty. You only have Brett Phillips and Josh Lau as your lefties here, but maybe the catcher Pinto looks like a solid value at $2,200. On the red side, they're not on the list of teams I'm looking to stack. One off play would be like Jonathan India as a value, maybe Farmer or Mike Moustakas as well, just with some of the value that they present. We got a potential Nerfy here with the Marlins and the Mets here. Both teams below 3.7 total. We got Sandy Alcantara continues to just crush every single game. This year is going up against the Mets, which he has faced already multiple times this year and has been successful against them. Don't see any reason why he wouldn't be. He's the best pitcher by far on this slate. He's going to be the one that I start my lineup with. Don't have any interest in any bats from this game. Next one up is the Guardians against the Royals. On the Guardian side, I really like Steven Kwan at 35, batting leadoff, going up against a pitcher that doesn't K anybody. And Kwan has one of the lowest strikeout rates in baseball this year, just doesn't strike out at all. Going up against Zach Greinke, great chance of making contact all 4 or all 3 times he faces Greinke, depending on how long he lasts. And coming off of a game where he hit 2 doubles last night, I think he can carry that into today. We saw the Guardians offense finally explode yesterday. I think there's a good chance of them continuing it today against Greinke with the wind blowing out a little bit. Other options would be like Franmil Reyes, 32 he's been better recently and he's super affordable. And then you got Nolan Jones, who they just called up, and he had a monster 457-foot bomb to get his MLB season or get his MLB career started yesterday. Next one up that looks valuable to stack is the Chicago White Sox. They're getting healthier now. Eloy Jimenez had the day off yesterday. Should be back in the lineup today. Got good price tags up and down this lineup with value with Eloy Jimenez, Gavin Sheets. We saw Jose Abreu been averaging over 440 in his last 10 games with some power. We saw Anderson had a good game yesterday, can continue to get it going. So Braves, White Sox, Guardians are my favorite stacks today. Brewers against the Pirates. Pirates came back to win last night off of Woodruff, but Woodruff was still great for fantasy purposes, great for prize picks entries if you play the strikeouts. Don't have much interest in some of these expensive Brewers bats, like Yelich is almost 6K, Adames is over 5.5, and Tellez is over 5.3. Don't have much interest in. They're really lefty heavy, and they're going up against a lefty, so they're not one of my favorites. Then we got the Phillies offense against the Cardinals here. Phillies pitching staff has been the best in baseball over the past couple of weeks. They have shut out the Cardinals 3 times in the past week, and yesterday did it with Gibson. Their bullpen has been top in the last few weeks as well in all of baseball. Now they're going up against they're starting a bullpen guy today, Nick Nelson. Maybe he can go a couple innings and then give way to the rest of the bullpen. But if I was a betting man, I'd take the under in this game, which I am. I'd take the under in this game just because the Cardinals offense been absolutely ice cold recently, and the Phillies bullpen has been the best in baseball. So even though they have a 4.7 total, I'm not convinced that they're going to be able to score more than 3-4 runs today. I do like the Phillies bats here against Palante. Some of the value with Derek Hall continues to just crush. Didi looks good at his value, at his price tag. Doesn't give you much power anymore. And then you can look to Alec Boehm, 3K. He's been better recently. Going back over to DraftKings, first guy I'm putting in at pitcher is Sandy Alcantara at 10.7, just super affordable. Second pitcher is going to be Ian Anderson at 71. They're the two guys I'm starting my lineup with. Sandy Alcantara has been great against the Mets. He's faced them twice this year. He's gone 15 innings in those two games, so 8 and 7 most likely is what happened with him, and averaging 21 fantasy points. He had one poor start against them last time out, but he still went deep into the game with 7 innings. He's just a workhorse. Expect 7+ innings out of him every time he takes a bump. And then Ian Anderson, just with the value that he gives you at 71, he's still been fine in some starts. Like half of starts he's been really good, the other half he's been terrible, and he's gotten shelled. Got absolutely crushed against the Phillies. Had poor performances against the Dodgers. Did get hit hard against the Nats earlier. That was in Washington, though. You know, he's back at home. He's not been great at home either, but it's just a kind of a gut feeling that I think Anderson will have a bounce back sort of performance here. The Nats offense is not that bad at all to target, one of the worst ones in baseball in terms of just, besides like Bell and Cruz, they don't have too much power in this lineup. So I'm not, even though he did have a poor performance against them a month ago, I still think Anderson can bounce back, and the Braves have the highest total on the slate, so he's able to go pretty deep into the game. Good chance of getting the win. So those are the two pitchers I'm going with. Other one would be like Zach Plesac. At his price tag looks solid. Maybe Michael Kopech at 82 also looks pretty good. He's also not been great recently. He's gotten hit around a little bit, and they don't let him go like over 90 pitches too often. But he's a solid option against the Tigers. And that's pretty much it. Going over to, and we also have Sanchez did start for the Phillies last time out, and now they're going to bring him in as the long relief man. He probably can go like 65, 70 pitches today after Nick Nelson goes an inning or two. Going over to first base, putting in Derek Hall just with the value that he gives you at $3,200. Been batting cleanup for them. Should be in the lineup again today off of a righty, and you know he absolutely crushed the ball was his double, which led to the game-winning run in the 8th inning. He's just super affordable right now. He gives you power and 4 home runs already in just 10 games played, 13 Ks. It does strike out a little bit, but not really worried too much against Palante, and just gives you massive slugging. So guys like Hall, Schwarber, guys that just give you a lot of power, they're great for DFS purposes. Because even if they go 1 for 4, if the one hit is a home run, you're going to be happy. Over at third base, I'm going with the Guardians player, Nolan Jones. 2K flat, he's min-price. Maybe he gets a bump in the batting order, but he's one of their best prospects, and he absolutely crushed one. It was like a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, too, that he absolutely tattooed. This is his 3rd game played. He has 4 hits in his, so it wasn't his debut yesterday. He did play the game before that, but he's been great for them. Only 1 strikeout in 7 at-bats with a couple of extra base hits, making good contact. 2K, his price tag is going to continue to go up, and against Greinke, nothing to really worry about there. Over in the outfield, first guy is going to be Ronald Acuna Jr. Look to pay up for some of these Braves bats with the value that we have here in Acuna. No, he's going to be one of the best pay-ups on the slate with the Braves having such a high total. And then the last guy is going to be Luis Robert. Like him as well at 49. He's been great for them this year. It just gives you a lot of power, hits for high average as well. Lots of double-digit fantasy games for him recently, and a good chance of that continuing today with them having a high total, and he's crushed it against the Tigers this year. Those are the 6 plays I got for you guys today over on DraftKings. Go ahead and look at FanDuel. So on FanDuel, same exact plays I'm running in terms of the core plays. Sandy Alcantara at 10.7. He's the only pitcher that's I feel comfortable paying up for. Was going in the value pitcher. Maybe you can look to like Plesac or Anderson, but they're already kind of expensive at $9K and $8,800 respectively. Maybe Kopech would be the best, but no problem getting up to Alcantara with the value that we have with like Nolan Jones at $2,300, super cheap third base option. You got still able to pay up for Acuna and Robert here, and you still have 27, 25 left. You can go in Derek Hall here. And there are a lot of value pieces that you can look to, like on the White Sox, you have Gavin Sheets at $2,300. On the Guardian side, Steven Kwan is only $2,400. You got cheap second base options with like Jonathan India. It's only $2,400. So pretty easy still to fill out your lineup with a lot of guys that will be batting near the top of the order. And they're all like under $2,500. So that's it for DFS. Let's look at Prizepicks quickly. So already got the Prizepicks plays on plugged in for you guys in the video. Sandy Alcantara, the first guy, is going to be my favorite one. He's at 37.5. There's no good chance this one gets bumped up to, last time it was at 37.5. Within a couple of hours, it got bumped up to 40.5, and he still hit it by going, I think he went the distance maybe. But I love Alcantara with how deep he goes into game. Good chance of always getting that quality start because he barely ever gives up earned runs. And even though the Mets have a decent offense, still think he can navigate his way through it and still get you some strikeouts against that team. Going with the Nerfy as well in that same game, it has the lowest total of any game so far, 3.4 for the Marlins and 3.7 for the Mets. Both pitchers have been pretty solid this year. Obviously, Alcantara is like leading the way in the Cy Young voting, and Walker has, I think, been able to navigate against a pretty weak Marlins offense. Love the Braves today. I'm taking Austin Riley over 8.5 fantasy. Think he's gonna crush it. Maybe hit another home run today against a pitcher that we saw get lit up against the Phillies in his last start and give up a bunch of bombs. So Riley, Acuna, those guys, I'm looking to take their over fantasy. Steven Kwan's only at 5.5. I like his over fantasy as well. He has 5 stolen bases on the season, so chances to maybe even hit that with just a stolen base. But he bats leadoff for them, coming off of a great game yesterday. I think he can carry that into today. A hit, maybe a walk, a hit, walk, an RBI, and you're there, or a run scored and you're there. And the last guy is going to be Zach Plesac over 26.5 fantasy. He's been just very steady for them in terms of going like 6 innings or more. Or going at least 6 innings. He's just been very consistent in doing that. Just looking at his game logs here, he's gone 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Last time he didn't go 6 innings was back at the end of May. Otherwise, he's been very solid during that span. He can get up to 100 pitches. And the Royals don't have the best offense. He's done very well against them in 2 starts with a .77 ERA. And, think he can continue to have success against the Royals today. So that's about it for the video today. Those are the 5 prize picks I like in the DFS plays I'm rolling with. Not too many top-end pitchers today, so there's not a ton I love in terms of the strikeouts and the pitching in the fantasy score props. Besides like Alcantara, Plesac, maybe Ian Anderson. But over 37.5 fantasy for Sandy Alcantara, Nerfy, Mets, Marlins. Over 8.5 fantasy, Austin Riley. Over 5.5 fantasy, Steven Kwan. And over 26.5 fantasy, Zach Plesac. Best of luck today, and I will see you all next time.